Hi, I'm Virginia, a Get Set Up athlete and also a retired professor of neurology from Washington University in St. Louis. I'm going to go through some upper body exercises that work for me because I'm a volleyball player. I've played it most all my life. So please feel free to join me. And if you have sports that have these kinds of movements, this should work for you. But if not, feel free to use what you can and improvise. So the first exercise, I do a series of shoulder strengthening movements with anywhere from 3 to 5 pound weights. You don't want real heavy weights on the shoulder. So we'll start with the biceps curl. And I do 12. You're not going real fast. You don't want to go ballistic. Okay, then I go to abduction or a lateral. So again, you go up and the palms are up or thumbs up. Okay, 2, 3. Notice I don't go above my shoulder on that one. Next we'll do a flexion, straight in front. Again, not above the shoulder. Okay, then I switch to a shoulder extension. So you don't see this too often, but I'm taking them here and going here. So extending the shoulder. Again, light weights should be no problem. While you're still in that posture, you can also do flies, reverse flies. Okay, then I'm up and we're going up again. So this is presses above the shoulder. Sometimes you can use heavier weights with this because it's good for the, instead of a fairly good angle for the shoulder. And then while you're up there, because one of the problems older women have are triceps, or sometimes wings they're called. You want to try to work the triceps so your arms are elevated and you're just extending. Okay, then I'm going to use this bench as though it were a bench in the gym, but it's useful to have any bench. So I'm going to do single arm rows. You notice I switched to 2 weights in the one hand. That can tolerate more weight, but not too much because you can actually hurt your rotator cuff with this one. Okay, one more for the triceps. So from a gravity neutral, you're fighting against gravity, extending the elbow. And you always balance it, do both sides. At this point, I usually take the bench and go for regular flies. This is working not only the shoulder, but the pectoral muscles. Then I do presses, but because I'm a volleyball player, I push at an angle. You can always adapt to whatever's useful for you. All right, the last in this session is, or this section is actually depression, but since I'm fighting against gravity, it's a little more forceful. Okay, for that first round of 12, after that, I do some weights for hip muscles and torso. So, which it's hard to tell where upper body and core stop and end. But so these are what I do in between the rounds with the upper body. So the first is hip flexion, extension. You use heavier weights. I would use 20 to 25 pound weights in each hand and do 12, again, sets of 12. Keeping your back straight. Since this is working your gluteal muscles, it's good for jumping, anything that requires explosive movement. And then I do a fairly simple squat. So I'm using free weights because free weights exercise more than just the muscle you're targeting, and particularly true in this case. So in the squats, it is hip, lower body, but because I'm holding the weights, it's also doing the upper body as well. With 20 or 25 pounds, actually holding it out like this is hard work. And also, make sure when you do squats, you don't put your knees in. They need to go straight. Take that from a woman who's had 3 knee arthroscopies. So I do those 3 times, 3 sets of 12. 6. Can't pick up the sound of my knees. Okay, so I do those in between the shoulder, kind of break it up, and then I'm done with them. Okay, then when we're round through the upper body, 12 reps each, so you're hitting 2 sessions, 12 reps at like all those different positions. So again, I start with the curl. Then lateral. Again, not above the shoulder. Front, sagittal. Presses. Triceps. And single arm rows. Single triceps. Here. On the bench. And flies. Presses. And depressions. Okay, so that's the extent of my upper body workout. I want to point out that I did this in a living room on a bench. We had weights to use, but you don't have to have official dumbbells. You can use a can of vegetables or maybe even no weight at all. Starting off light with just going through the motions has benefits too. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. And I invite you to join me in some other Get Set Up classes.